All right, Rand, before we look ahead here, let's look back at last summer's with the first big summer scouting rankings for our defensive backs. And as always, I'll have you grade them. Will Johnson was the number one player on my big board. A cornerback had never been drafted first overall in recent memory, at least, not off the top of my head. And obviously, he ended up going to the second round. Wasn't as fast as we thought he was going to be, but the reports out of Arizona with the Cardinals are through the roof, and he's a chance to be a starter. Number two, Travis Hunter. We're living in a world where Travis Hunter wasn't number one in something. Obviously, the second overall pick, so we got that part right. Benjamin Morris, number three out of Notre Dame. He battled a hip injury, I believe. Ended up being a second round pick, and if he's healthy, he's a fantastic player. Number four on our list, Denzel Burke. Ended up being a fifth round pick out of Ohio State. Up and down season. Thought he played better the year before. The year prior to that, 2023, he struggled as well. So he's shown glimpses of being able to do it, just hasn't put it together consistently. And then finally, Malachi Starks out of Georgia, 27th overall pick. Unfair pick, if you ask me, as a Steelers fan. Went to the Ravens, be teamed up there with Kyle Hamilton's having a great training camp, according to reports as well. What do you think about that group?
No, I give it a B. I think all those guys were right in terms of the top five, probably in my opinion, with the exception of Denzel Burke. You saw my smile when you said Malachi Starks. I was a big Malachi Starks fan. And for me, Travis was my number one player on the board, from start to finish going into it. So, I think it was a good solid group and give you a B. Good job, Ryan.
Thank you. I'll take it. I'll take a B anytime. If you see my report card, a B was rarely seen on that thing. Here's some names that were drafted in real life that we didn't touch on and weren't necessarily late to the game, but we weren't talking about them until the fall. Jahdae Barron ended up being a first-round pick for the Broncos. Max Harrison, first-round pick for the Bills. He just suffered a knee injury. He's not going to be out for the season, but he's going to be slowed by that. Nick Manwari, insane athleticism out of South Carolina, ended up getting drafted by Seattle. Trey Amos, Andrew Makuba, Darian Porter, all second-round picks. Porter was an early third-round pick. So a couple names we missed there, but that's what makes it fun. All right, producer Sharon, let's take a look at our individual rankings this time around, Rand and Ryan. And no surprise here, number one overall, Caleb Downs, Carthon. You have adopted him. He is your guy. And I'm interested to talk about him because you had an opportunity to sit down with him and you got a chance to know him. So I'm curious to know about that. Number two on my list was Chandler Rivers, 5'10" unofficial, officially 5'8". So I want to talk to you about what that means because those are 2 inches that are very important in the position he plays. Jaylen Kilgore, who I liked a little bit more than you did, maybe a lot more, out of South Carolina. Avian Terrell, A.J. Terrell's brother, plays at Clemson as well. And then Jermod McCoy was on number 5. You had Jermod number 2. Worth noting, he suffered an ACL injury in January, so we'll see what that means for his availability at any point this fall. You had Avian Terrell 3. Malik Muhammad was also a name that was popular this summer. I watched him. He didn't make my top 5, but you had him at number 4. And then you had Chandler Rivers at number 5 out of Duke. All right, first up, let's start with Jaylen Kilgore out of South Carolina. He is our consensus number 5 player. And again, I liked him more than you, so I want to hear your thoughts on this. Played 3/4 of the snaps in the slot, played in the box, rarely played safety. They put him back there occasionally. 200-meter guy. Did have 5 interceptions last year, which got my attention. And going back and watching him with Nicky Manwari and all those guys in the front four, that team should have gone undefeated. I don't know. I don't know how they lost the game because he was a part of an insanely athletic group. In my notes, I said he played nickelback like wide receiver at all 3 levels. Long-legged, long-armed, big slot who moves like a much smaller nickelback. Gets in and out of his back pedal coming downhill. Long strider who looks like he can stride out in space and has legit makeup speed. But you weren't quite as keen on Jaylen Kilgore as I was. Worth noting, he's not even 21 years old yet. He's 20 and a half.
Yeah, so I saw more of a fourth safety, more strong safety than free safety. I didn't see a NFL nickel type athlete just in terms of being able to mirror and match underneath in those man coverage situations, particularly against those slot receivers. I think he will have his struggles there. Now, because he has really good size, like he's going to be able to cover up guys in the slot, if you will, and he'll be a good guy to have in there to match up against some of those athletic F tight ends. But I just thought I thought he was a little leggy. a little tight in terms of his hip flexibility and transition quickness. And in the games I watched, I saw him give up a lot of quick in-breaking routes due to that hip stiffness. I did see a guy that will strike you, has some heaviness to him on contact, and I liked his production. I just thought I was going to see more, and didn't come away overly impressed. For me, of the safeties I watched, he was my number 4 safety, which is why he didn't crack my top 10.
Gotcha. 6'2", 219. And that's what makes this interesting. To obviously, you have 2 decades of experience evaluating guys, and I'm the media draft guy that's been doing this since 2018. So I like having different perspectives. Thank you for laughing at that part of it. All right, if you want to get another chuckle, I'll give you my comp, and you can turn off your camera and walk away in anger if you want. I said, and you're not crazy about his coverage skills. I didn't hate him. I said he was better in coverage, but athletically reminded me a little bit of Jeremy Chin.
Um, it's not a bad comp, but I think Chin had a little bit more versatility,
Okay.
just in all the different things he could play, in that being that nickel backer guy that you could walk up off the edge, you could blitz, and so I think he had a little bit more versatility. But I could see what you did there.
Okay. And again, he's 20 years old, so there's certainly room for improvement. And we've seen guys at every position come back and play lights out, and your opinion of them changes. Nicky Manwari wasn't on a lot of folks' radar last summer, and then he balled out, and he ended up being a second round pick. So we'll find out together.